Hello, I am Teneshia Jackson Warner. I am the CEO of Egami Consulting Group. So, Egami Consulting Group is a multicultural marketing firm. We launched in 2003, and we've had an opportunity to work alongside Russell Simmons, Rush Communications, many of the companies under the Rush umbrella, ranging from Hip Hop Summit Action Network to Rush Card, Fat Farm, Baby Fat, Def Jam Enterprises. In addition to working with Rush Communications, we've worked with Jostens, which is the leading product provider in U.S. high schools. We've had an opportunity to work with many of the Procter& Gamble brands. We work with Tag Body Spray, which is under the P&G umbrella. We've worked on the Bounty account. We've worked on some scale programs that include Mr. Clean and an umbrella of the household products with Gospel Fest. We have had an opportunity to work with Heineken on Heineken Red Star Soul, Hennessy for the past 2 years, and others. So, really, Igami Consulting Group, how it was founded is definitely not the traditional way of the way that most companies are founded. And you normally sit down, you write your business plan, you do this analysis, and you really understand what your services are and how it's meeting a need. For myself, I used to work at IBM Global Services. I was a project manager at IBM for 5 years, and that was my first job out of college. On the IBM account, I worked with Best Buy. That was one of my clients, and I was there for 5 years, and I really got a lot from my corporate experience. However, being young, I knew that I had a love for hip hop culture and a love for entertainment, and I wanted to follow that dream. And so for me, I actually left IBM. I was based in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I came to New York in 2003 with a dream of getting into the entertainment hip hop industry. Um, I had an opportunity to meet Russell Simmons, and I went up to him and told him that I wanted to shadow him and learn the business of hip hop, and I was willing to do it by working for no fee in exchange for an opportunity to learn the business. And so it wasn't traditional. I pitched myself several times to Russell, and he finally said, "Listen, I haven't seen persistence like this in a long time. If you're really serious, show up at my office." And so I started to volunteer with Russell and shadow him along with many of his executives over there, Gary Foster being one of the ones that I worked extremely closely with. And I was in Russell's office for months, just sort of being a sponge around looking at the business of hip hop. There was an opportunity. Verizon actually worked with Russell and provided the Hip Hop Summit Action Network with a donation to launch a program called a Hip Hop Reader. It was a literacy program that was going to be rolled out within New York City schools. And the project was really understaffed, and Russell was sort of in this position. He needed to team up and roll this project out. And I spoke up and said, "Hey, Russell, I've been working with IBM for 5 years. I know how to manage a project. You should give me that project." And so that was my first project. And when he said yes, I quickly went and incorporated and said, "Okay, you're going to be my first client." And so it wasn't traditional. It was sort of, I knew I wanted in and I reacted to an opportunity. But from there, Hip Hop Summit Action Network, working with them on the Hip Hop Reader, they were my first client. Shortly after that, a lot of companies were providing Hip Hop Summit Action Network with donations to turn out the vote during the 2004 election season. So there was a campaign, Get Out the Vote, with Hip Hop Summit Action Network. Once again, there was a need to roll out this campaign. I had successfully rolled out the Hip Hop Reader program, and I went to Russell again and said, "Will you give me that project?" In 2004 or 2005, I was tapped for an opportunity to work with Jostens, which is the leading provider within U.S. high schools. And in working with their senior executive team, they were looking at rolling out products that would resonate with urban culture. And I counseled them, put together a strategic plan of how, and it included rolling out an urban graduate line. And so under that marketing campaign, we did products with Baby Fat. She did a class ring. She did a hoodie that was for the class of, say, 2005. We actually ended up also working with House of Darien for a class of 2008 class ring. And so Jostens became one of my first corporate clients. And from there, we just realized, hey, here's a niche. I'm able to pull from the corporate experience and working with IBM, but also really understanding the culture of helping corporations reach the culture. And so it just started to roll from there. And before I knew it, we had more clients, and I was slowly beginning to bring on staff members. I would say my greatest lesson for Russell is in all projects that we're rolling out, really staying true to the culture. And so, one of the reasons why urban marketing or our programs is able to resonate with that audience is because it's true and it's authentic. And so, really staying true to the culture, although you're working with corporations that have to get that brand message through and they have to mobilize that audience, but making sure that you preserve what's true to the culture and what would resonate. No, I definitely do not find it as a barrier. I think a lot of times, how you show up at the table when you're doing your negotiations or when you're doing your business pitch, the beliefs that you have about yourself, those underlying beliefs, they actually show up in the room. And so for me, when I go to a business pitch, whether I'm the only African American woman there, I still believe that I have a skill set and that our company has an offering that could be of a value to that company. 5 years, where do I see Egami Consulting? Well, we currently have a number of partnerships in queue that we're looking at closing that would expand our reach and scale. And so I think for us, we will have acquired more resources to serve bigger accounts. As an entrepreneur, you have to be very strategic in how you grow and how you take on your new business and making sure that you can service that account. So I think we will have greater scale, which I'm looking forward to that because, of course, greater scale is the new business opportunity is there. If you take a look at this overarching stat that by the year 2050, the minority will become the majority, I think more and more over the next 5-year period, we're going to see more brands place an emphasis on understanding how to reach multicultural audiences. And I think Egami will be at the forefront of servicing that need for more and more Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 clients.